There ain't no tournament like an ultimate tournament, because an ultimate tournament don't stop. Welcome everybody to beautiful Bob Dean's Field here at North Hagley Park in Ōtautahi, Christchurch for the opening of our 2025 Division 1 Mixed Ultimate Championships, brought to you by Ulti TV. My name, as always, is Blair Munro.
And I'm still Kelsey Felix.
And for the first time since the last time, a huge thank you to the folks at home who are watching us. Wellington Wizards versus DMT to kick off your tournament. 3 days of the best sport in the world, in the best country in the world, depending on who you ask.
I think you could ask everyone, they'd agree.
Yeah. Except possibly our Australian contingent, the Purple Goannas, who we may see on stream a little bit later on. To start things off, though, the Wellington Wizards, a development level team who have managed to snag a spot through grit and hard work, facing off against DMT, a crowd favorite for a number of years now.
And just noting also DMT hailing from Dunedin. So we've got a North Island, South Island matchup here. Really exciting. Now conditions today, as you can see, sunny, beautiful. Sun could be an issue though. It's, coming into the eyes, especially if some big hucks come up. And a little bit of a wind as well. So we might see some zones coming out on defense. But the disc goes up and the game is live.
So fielded early by DMT, working out of a horizontal stack. Some nice quick disc movement to keep things moving, pushing towards our near sideline.
Altenberg carry.
Forced to work backwards, losing a couple of yards, but finding some really solid position.
Ooh, the fake. Shimon with the fake, swinging instead. And I love these safe options. I love seeing Altenberg carry here in the middle of the field, cutting instead of handling where she normally is. And they're moving the disc so beautifully right now. So many safe passes. Wellington Wizards are going to have to, check in with this. They're playing a lot of small ball. There's a fake deep shot, but yeah, they're really crushing it with these safe passes. The small ball looks like they're in their end zone play right now.
Yeah, so we can see they've transitioned out of that horizontal stack, looking to stretch the field. Two-hand take by Rory Liston, right on the doorstep. Quick reset. Goes back to Pierre Lilly, and Liston again doing a great job of chasing his disc as they got the speed with the knee slide.
And what a styly way, Shimon with the first point. What a styly way to score that first point. And I really love, the way they pulled that together. Such poise and patience in the end zone, especially with the first point of the game. That's a well-drilled team. That's a team that trusts each other. You can see how everyone on the team is holding space, waiting for those players to cut.
And just such a smooth transition as well. Like, that's clearly, they've really dialed in. Another beautiful take there over Norzal. Liston. Gonna shoot it wide cross field here. The give go. Liston immediately following the disc. Some really great handler initiated and then leading that wide pass out for Callum Shimon.
And it would be rude not to take that shot, when you have an opening like that. Liston with the disc, he gets the swing here, but you see the mark is just slightly slow. Gardner's running towards him, but not quick enough to stop that swing. And so, if the break is open, defense is already out of position. Why not fire that?
Yeah, I mean, you could see Brennan's pursuit of that one. I think once Liston got that continuation pass and was immediately looking for that far front corner, Brennan peeled off to try and cover, which is why you're able to see him. But it's DMT up by 1 on your screen at the moment. Some names we've just finished calling out. Callum Shimon in number 10, Rory Liston, Altenberg Carey, Bryn Douglas on this team as well. Pierre Lilly, who was doing a fantastic job working through that handle space as well. We'll see Kavisha Chandran, their spirit captain, and her older brother Kesh Chandran for Euphoria later on throughout the course of the tournament. But some really, really solid players here on this team.
And always, there's such a pleasure to always watch DMT play. Such a deep team, especially Blair and I were talking earlier with the energy they bring to the field. Matched now by the Wellington Wizards on offense.
All right, we've got Beswick to pick up and initiate for the Wizards. We're seeing a wide horizontal stack cutting from that far side, trying to open up some backfill space. Hubin curving around to get it on that far sideline.
And a relatively deep stack right now, struggling to get open. We see DMT is really hot on all these defensive plays. They're really close to the offense. So Wellington Wizards really pushing to get open right now. Great undercut from Krumnov. Hot off a Worlds campaign, actually a year ago.
Beswick keeps it in hands.
Nice handler movement right now. Firing deep, looking for Krumnov.
Oh, fingertips have recovered by Peter Hubin.
You know what? I think she was just looking for the assist there.
Yeah, I mean, you love to see it. Sharing the credit where you can. Technically, I think statistically, we will call that an assist from Kumnoff to Peter Huben. So great hockey assist there by Aiden Brown, but unfortunately it's not going to make the stat sheet.
A lot of technique on the throw. We can see him here in the power position, bringing that momentum that is forward and launching that power into the hug with Kumnoff, who again bops it to her teammate and Huben with the score.
Just honestly, it's just like me at a buffet. He's going to eat it up. And it's lovely to see. I mean, we were talking earlier before the start of the game, Kelsey, as well, making a couple of predictions, which we're not going to share just yet. But I think we were expecting to see a number of scores for the Wellington Wizards to come through the leadership from Peter Huben. Speaking of Wellington Wizards, as we tie the game, Melissa Arneson and their manager Lars, who we might see in the background of some of these shots. We've got Ollie Swanson, Caitlin Vanderpeet, Aiden Brown, Farhan Norzal, who pulled to start us off the game. DJ Flex himself, number 36, Sean Gardner, the Beswicks, Mitchell Brennan in number 95, and Josh Wong at number 11, Celine Sia as well. So some great athletes we're about to see on this field coming out to play defense. The game is currently tied.
And again, a lot of depth from the Wizards. We were talking about DMT before. They're a team of workhorses. They're fast. They work hard on the field. You could see there with the defense that they were challenging every defensive play. But with the Wellington Wizards, there's so much depth, not just on the national stage, but also the international stage that they bring to this team as well. So yeah, fantastic matchup. Both teams 1-1 right now. Seem to be favoring that end zone on the right side of the screen, but we have DMT now coming out on offense. Love that high release fake.
Oh, Arneson not quite able to get it. Douglas puts it up.
And that is a beautiful put.
Oh, a little bit of inside edge.
You could see him putting touch on that. I love the way he released that. You know, recognizing the receiver. That's a great mixed ultimate throw. Unfortunately, still a little too much sauce on it. Yeah,
I mean, it's a huge loss to Credo seeing Bryn Douglas and just the confidence as well that he takes towards his handling.
Yeah.
So a great pickup for DMT, though, so we're going to see how it pays off for them.
Picking up a few, Credo players from the Christchurch team shifting down to the Dunedin counterpart. Oh, the fake goes up.
Oh, Gardner trying to make that in cut off by Bryn Douglas, but there's the intercept by Altenberg carry. Douglas, he's wanting to put it long.
Oh, he did that last time. You could see he wanted to throw that deep look again. Judged against it.
Shimon available as that far side support.
What a dynamic handler duo. I love that. Shimon and Douglas.
Oh, big bid by Brennan. It's going to get the turn, even though he doesn't look like he made any contact with it.
That's a mental D right there. It's a mental D.
Fun D mental. I love to see it. Gardner manages to chip through, but it comes off the hands of Amber Lou.
It hurts to see looks like that. You know, the connection, she was there and just slightly missing each other. I have to say, I love the decision-making, though. Such an exciting shot to make, an unfortunate turn. Douglas finding Altenberg carry with the front of the stack cut, it looks like. Looking for the continuation to Shimon.
Oh, early play by the defense, but he's got it anyway.
What a point. Honestly, Brennan played some fantastic defense there. You see how he went up early. We'll see that again on the screen soon. Went up early, forcing the offense to jump up as well. And you know, boxing him out and really forcing Shimon to take to the ground to reel it in. You know, I think that was great defense.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, one of the key things to keep in mind when you're working on those end zone plays is on offense, you don't know what your defensive counterpart's capable of. And so by playing on defense, going early, going aggressive, you can force your offensive counterpart to mistime things. I think that's what Brendan was going for here. We're going to see it here. He's on the back shoulder. There's a lot of floaters. It curves up, goes early, but it's that recovery from Shimon.
Yeah.
Oh, my God, Father, finishing with the tight little shack roll.
So Shimon now with 2 points on the board. Can he go for the three-peat? Is he going to go for the hat trick? Also love to see it from a handler, you know? Handler scoring the points, but also representative of the type of game that DMT is playing right now. Again, we're seeing a lot of that small ball.
Yeah, absolutely. And folks, just as a reminder at home, if you're hitting the gym, making preparations already for our upcoming Open and Women's season, those multi-planar movements, being able to jump and land through rotation, you just saw why you drill it, all right? Drill it till you kill it. I've heard fake it till you make it, but Practice, practice, practice. We talking about practice. We're going to see DMT currently up by 1 to come out on defense. We are back to a male matching majority point, I believe. Nice amount of loft underneath that pole. It's going to give them a great opportunity to chase down. We're seeing some increase in foot speed from DMT. Picked up early. I think that's O'Sullivan for the Wizards.
A relatively deep horizontal stack, which gives players an opportunity to get open. Who've been looking, firing the inside out.
Forehand, looking for Wong, double coverage. Lot of float. Who's got the read? Oh,
looks like no one does. I mean, similarly, great defense. I think mirroring what we saw from Brennan from the Wellington Wizards, the last point. Really a lot of boxing out from both Becky Farr and I'm not sure about the male matching player that was in the end zone there, but on defense, just blocking out that space, taking up the space where the offense wants to be, seeing the disc to the ground.
Leilani Smith, aggressive on defense, forces the reset. Patience from DMT, working through that midfield now, using the height, stretching the space.
Chappell looking for options, finding Farr with a huge strike cut.
Smith on the back foot, manages to close down the upline lane. Wong hunting, Hoban also hunting, can't find it. Chappell, big forehand fake at the halfway mark now.
Finding Farr with the disc. Beautiful movement right now, such safe passes. I really love the tenacity that Wizards are bringing to defense. But DMT showing, again, a lot of patience. This is a well-drilled team, finding those open players. Stall's getting high.
Big wide shot, hoping to finish with a first break.
And she does. But out of bounds. Does not count for a score.
Just a little wide. I mean, I understand the temptation as well, putting it out into space. Kumnov puts it up. It's got some high edge. Who's underneath it? DMT with an intercept.
Scary place to be handling, especially when you're struggling for options like that. But DMT now on offense, knocking on that end zone door. Can they reel it in this time? Farr with the disc.
Continuing those wide cuts across the far sideline, goes back to Payne. Inside shot!
Ooh.
Wong!
That's a fantastic safety. No contact there. Really well done. Misfire on the inside.
Can't convert.
And you can see, the hand signals just indicating, slow it down, let's slow things down from DMT. Sometimes on the other team here, we see Wizards just firing these turnovers really quickly. The other team, DMT can pick up on that. So they're saying to each other, let's calm it down, let's play our own game at our own pace, not get excited from a lot of turnovers that are happening.
So it's Simmons, goes back through to midfield for Chappell.
Oh, beautiful.
Comfortable pain for the score.
That you wonder, my mind immediately goes, is there a pick? He's so open. Just put on his visibility cloak and had popped up on the break side there.
Yeah, and here I was thinking it was the Wizards would start to see the magic from, but it's Theo missing, my mistake, with the score for DMT. Going up by 2, first break of the game.
Looks like a timeout has been called on the field from Wellington Wizards. So we'll be taking a quick break while both teams reassess. Now, Blair, why have Wellington Wizards called a timeout? Because obviously you're in their minds and know exactly what they're thinking. Why do you think they've called a timeout?
A little bit of legitimacy there if you're a Harry Potter fan, which you shouldn't be because J.K. Rowling has some questionable political views. We're an inclusive sport here, folks. So, getting into the minds of the Wizards, now's a great time as any to call a timeout. It's a small deficit so far. We're currently only 2 points up from the perspective of DMT. But one thing that we can say is that the first 3 points of the game that had us at that 2-1 were all clean holds. We saw some really, really great, the first 2 points rather, I should say, were both clean holds. Something has started to creep in the later stages where we're just starting to see those turnovers. We saw that really long shot from Peter Hoban not manage to connect in the end zone. When we've seen DMT pushing back the other way, it's been mostly defensive pressure that's generated the turn, but then something's not meshing on that attempt to convert. And so it's just a case of getting everyone back on the same page, making sure that where those turns happen, people are connected together. I think we're seeing the players making those defensive moves and then immediately trying to get the disc going. And if everyone's not dialed in and switched on, it's really, really hard to get those things to connect together.
I agree, definitely. And one thing I think, as you're saying, Blair, that they're struggling with a little bit is we're seeing that previously that back left corner of the end zone where they're picking up. So when DMT was turning the disc, Wizards picked it up and they were on that corner. It's a bit of the death corner. So we've got a slight upwind downwind breeze here, with both teams scoring on that upwind side until this last point. But when you're throwing upwind, you're in the back corner. We've seen a few inside out shots. We saw Kriminov with that huck, stalls getting high. But one thing we're not seeing them do is look for that swing immediately. And a crosswind swing is not, you know, the wind, because it's blowing from one side to the other, it's not as challenging. They're not throwing upwind, they're throwing crosswind for that swing, and that's they're not making that look just yet, and that is usually often such a safe primary look when you're on the corner on the sideline like that.
Absolutely. I mean, when we go back to the first point of this game, that first opening point by DMT, that was where their success came from. A huge amount of patience, 22 unbroken passes, and the bulk of that was happening in the handler set where you had Liston, you had Shimon working together. So a lot of that lateral disc movement, those crosswind swings, exactly as you're talking about, they work. They work in conditions like this. DMT have put them to good use. If we see Wellington Wildcats start to implement a little bit more of that safe ultimate.
The Wizards here, Wildcats, the open team.
Honestly, yeah, too many Wellington teams all starting their names with W. I get confused, guys. I can't read. But yes, the Wellington Wizards, thank you, Kelsey. If we start seeing them utilize those crosswind like lateral movements, we might see this game get tightened up.
Yeah, also a challenge when you have such strong defense, such shutdown match defense. But we're seeing them coming down in a match again. Wizards with another opportunity. Dinsdale with a huge under-gainer.
Biswick on the far sideline, marked by Chandra, and shoots one through to the midfield. It's Gardner putting it up! Looking for Dinsdale.
What a matchup right now.
Ooh.
Oh, Far, such a solid, deep, matchup, and Dinsdale's such a weapon in the end zone. So I love that. And great decision. Ultimate, obviously, a non-contact sport. Dinsdale considering if that contact may have impacted the catch and decided against it. But like to see that consideration.
I think that Dinsdale recognizing, hey, I had a second attempt at it and wasn't able to get it. Fair play.
What?
What an upright from Whitaker. Hoban aggressive on the mark.
Oh, safe swing to Far.
Great find.
Finding Ogilvy, sorry.
Marsh trying to cut in, but Aiden Brown getting the touch there, number 21. Comes back around to Gardner. He's going to put it up again. Decides to be a little more patient.
Nice movement. Vanderpeet looking for options. Gardner with a strike.
Oh, a laser show up that sideline from Smith.
You can see she's a bit frustrated with that. The hands go up, but that's okay. We've got DMT now with the disc. Looks like Marsh to pick up in the back corner. So this is a prime example again. So when you're on the sideline in the back corner, oftentimes the first look you'll be making is for a swing because it's such a safe pass to make. But finding the inside there.
And
getting the movement going
through to the midfield.
The most important. A wide open Far, looking back. So DMT with just such great handler swings right now.
Big shot up from Marsh. Lot of float. There's plenty of time for Hoban to get underneath. It's contested. Oh, swatted.
That is great defense. That's fantastic defense. And, I respect the huck, respect the decision, especially from a player, I think that's Whitaker, who, just made that defensive play, just made that catch down there as well, that great offhand catch we saw. But when you have Hoban in the end zone, it's a challenge. He's such a sky patrol. He's a fighter jet down there, and it's dangerous to put the disc in his vicinity because he has a tendency to shoot it down.
Gardner goes through to Dinsdale, faking to try and get traffic moving. Looking straight back, finds Brown, far sideline.
Ooh, beautiful
find.
Ainer, what a throw!
Gardner open, Dinsdale in front of the defense, but looked off in favor of a short reset to Hoban.
Oh my
Puts
gosh.
it up for Brown.
Two options there.
Can he get there? Oh,
what
yes.
A look. Oh, Wizards carving up the field. We saw that huge inside-out shot across the field to Gardner, and then Hoban with that vision, seeing Dinsdale starting that cut. And then there was options there. Just they were so on the same page. You were talking about, oh god, legitimacy, mind reading. Here they are, mind reading. So here he just releases it. We can see before the cuts are even set up. And Brown and Dinsdale, both available options.
I mean, it's worked for them in the past when we look at the way that Wellington Wizards, got it right that time, scored that earlier point off the fingertips of Krumnov straight through to Huben. Having two players cutting for the disc, especially when you're putting it out and it's getting high enough that the wind is starting to make a play, it's exactly what you want to see. You want to see additional players providing that extra support. There is nothing worse than putting a shot up long and then having one player underneath it, nobody else available, and then seeing those mistakes start to creep in. So
at the same time, it can lead to opportunities like Shimon with that huge D that we saw in the end zone going for the second bid. And, you love to see, we're in the fans, we're in the sideline here. I'm not laying my body out, but you love to see it from the sideline. And Shimon, taking a second bite from that and having to lay out to catch it. Having that backup allows your team to just save the legs, save the body, not, be throwing their body around on the ground, if there's someone else there to snap that up. At the same time, it's also the first game of a 3-day tournament. So, it's helpful to have that backup, to help save legs.
Absolutely. I mean, there's a lot of talk, particularly lately, especially when we're looking at some of the teams who have had relatively short rosters throughout Division 2, for example, talking about the importance of load management. This is going to be the culmination of most of these players' seasons. Unless they're looking to transition straight into the Open and Women's season. Oh, good break find. Gets Mercer.
Back to
Goes
Douglas.
to Douglas. Mickael on the mark. Oh, easy.
1-2, 1-2. That's it, baby.
Ultimate 101. Huck it to the tall guy.
Yeah, I mean, you can see, just as Blair was saying, we saw Douglas, Mercer, with that great breakthrough, looking for the swing again. And I really respect the peel off on defense, the recognition there, peeling off to pick up that, Mercer as he was going deep. But as you just said, you can't teach height. So here you go, the 1-2, that breakthrough, back to Douglas. And then switching the mark. I love that switch from the Wizards. And recognizing, at the same time, when you're switching marks, especially here at the Div 1 level, when you're standing across, when you're matching up against players at the Div 1 level, especially in Aotearoa, New Zealand, you tend to know who you're matching up against, and you're strategic about that. Height matches height, speed matches speed, handler marks specialize with those handler marks. And here, sometimes if you're switching your marks, it's such good recognition, but at the same time, you can be distributing those strengths in a way that is disadvantageous.
Yeah, no, great awareness, though, by Wizards, as you say, to pull that one. Norzal making a great read, giving up position at the very last second. Based on that kind of poaching the lane, sitting off from the mark, kind of recognizing that even though Douglas had the disc there, if there was no one in that deep space, there wasn't that need to really apply pressure to the disc, which gave Norzal space to be able to make that downfield poach, or the switch there. So great awareness. Just being able to hold that inside position, might have seen that go the other way. So great learnings here on display, team. I hope you're at home taking notes. A huge pull by Becky Farr from DMT. Hoping to widen the lead. Wong stops it early. Hoban picks up. Nearly. Hoban puts it.
Ooh.
Looking for Dinsdale.
Dinsdale. She's a speed machine getting under it.
Oh, too easy.
What a catch. What a catch. What a point. That was beautiful. I'm excited to see this again. That happened so fast.
Oh, my God.
Trying to wrap my brain around it.
Yeah, that was tight. Wizards with a great... I mean, you couldn't have drawn it up better.
We're referencing Wizards, potentially the Harry Potter franchise here, but I'm seeing a little bit of Fast and Furious out here. And right now, Huben to Dinsdale is too fast, too furious. Why make a highlight play when you're so fast you can just get onto that beautiful huck, well placed, and that's tough, with downwind throws to make them float like that. The wind has a tendency to push the disc down. But Huben places that so well for his teammate. Yeah, love to see it. Okay, I'll stop harping on how stoked I am.
Just a great read as well by Dinsdale, pulling that one down, bringing it back to a 1-point game. And so we're seeing a lot in a game like this close, which again, shout out to... I want to say dearly departed, but he's not dead. He just doesn't live in New Zealand anymore. David Jackson, who's drawn up who's created the draw that's been used at this Division 1 level for quite some time to maximize the likelihood that we are bringing to your screen some really tightly contested matches. Considering 24 minutes in, we're looking at a 4-3 game. We've only had one break, a lot of clean offense. I'd say he did a pretty good job, but because of how tight these games are, we're seeing a lot of points start off, full teams on the line, making sure everyone everyone's on the same page. We're going to see the Wizards coming out on defense now. It's Brennan with the disc for the pull.
You know, sometimes we often see in the beginning teams will go neck and neck and neck and neck. But right now, it's a matter of who is going to pull away. Who's going to pull away with that score? Oh, no.
Oh.
They're indicating checking the disc. Already. As we can see, great hand signals from Altenberg Carey, indicating that the disc might be, as we like to say, colloquially, tacoed. Indicating it is not fit to use for play.
Oh no, that's not just tacoed.
It's a scrunched
cool boy,
disc.
yeah. So the cleats, folks, that our players are wearing to give them as much grip as possible on those fields also have the off chance of shooting straight through a disc, which, you know, while a dent doesn't stop a car from driving, it can stop a disc from flying. So we're going to get a little bit of a swap out. DMT, of course, are going to retain possession here.
With a new disc on the field. Swinging immediately to Altenberg Carey. Faking options. Such safe hands, that woman.
Vanderpeet doing a pretty solid job, but no!
That was so exciting, that spicy cat swipe.
Gardner hoping to finish. Got Arneson available on the near side. Decides to go back to Vanderpeet midfield.
Looking for options.
Oh, an in shot.
Wide.
Too clean. Tying the game. There's a break. We're going to see Chris Beswick with the score. Wellington Wizards 4, Dunedin mixed team DMT on 4 as well.
I love the celebration there. You know, when you score, such a huge part of Ultimate, obviously we're sitting here watching these athletic plays, these people going all out, laying their bodies out, taking to the skies with the technique and precision on the swings. But such an important part of sport, any sport, as we all know, is that mental component. And within a team, just highlighting, as Blair is pointing out from the sideline here, bookends on that fantastic point. And wrapping this point up, when you're playing as a team, a huge part of that is not just your own mental game, but the team mental game. So I love to see here, after this point is scored, the whole team is celebrating, which just brings that energy up and allows you to carry it through to the next point. It becomes harder to stop as the opposing team.
And you could just see just there, the DMT defense, a head drop, the immediate emotional reaction. Beswick, we can see here a stat sheet popping up on your screen at the moment. 1 goal and 1 block from what looks like his first touches on the disc in the game. So a nice emphatic way to start things off.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's an exclamation point on the field, if I ever saw one.
But a great assist there by Vanderpeet to put that one away.
And we see the bookends. Yeah, fantastic. Fantastic way to bring that out on the field. Get a D and a point. Wizards carrying that momentum now into defense. Meanwhile, with DMT looking to chuck a wrench in that and put a point of their own on the board.
Less Professor Flitwick, more Professor Beswick, am I right? Altenberg Carey pushing to the far sideline. We've got Shimon back on the field. It'll be good to see if he can put up his third on this point. Oh, through the fingertips. Wizards with a chance. Norzal to pick up.
That's painful. She was open. It was a great shot. That's bad luck right there.
Yeah, Vanderpeet getting hungry again.
Nice
Goes
shot.
wide to Gardner.
Oh, great movement right now from Wizards, fighting to get open. Looking for options, finding that inside front of the stack. Huge swings, finding Vanderpeet again.
Yeah, Norzal was hoping for it. Is an option up over the top, attacking the front corner, and it's gonna be good. Wizards take the lead.
Wow. This, just as I was saying, you know, that cheering, those high fives, you know, it's hard to stop a team when they're firing and when they're excited, when they're stoked, you know, with that movement. There's a lot of patience. What we saw from those first few points, they were matching, but DMT was really bringing that poise. You know, they weren't making those mistakes, and now Wizards have just upped their game. They've scored the last 3 points in a row, I think.
Yeah.
And yeah, they're so clean with those options they're making. Looks like DMT getting a little bit confused potentially on marks, a little bit of poachiness, like they're trying to cover up. But instead of covering up, they need to just, everyone, like, play a little bit tighter.
Yeah, just the Wizards hitting the old Aloha Mora to unlock the doors there in the DMT defense. putting them up by 1. You're exactly right, Kelsey. They've scored the last 3 points. So not only did they have a really, really clean hold, it was a 3-pass offense, that big shot from Hoban to Dinsdale.
Oh, that was so beautiful.
And then Beswick, so aggressive. I'm a natural athlete team. The wind's starting to pick up enough to push our monitor over. But if you didn't hear it hit the ground, that's just because the safest hands on the ultimate field are right here in the commentary booth.
Blair Monroe receiving in the commentary booth. Not just an ultimate frisbee extraordinaire.
That huge play by Beswick, though, getting that touch on the disc, managing to turn it around. Some beautiful bookends there. They're back out on defense.
And DMT now going downwind. Douglas with the disc.
Yeah, you could see the early nod. Manages to get one through the midfield, finding Pierre Lilly.
Nice.
Quickly goes back to Altenberg carry to Shimon, far sideline. Defense is scrambling a little bit. Mickael on the mark.
They're looking.
Lilly and Altenberg carry, providing that support as they swing. They're starting to use the width again.
Nice. Oh!
Wizards in the block. Brennan signaling for stretching the deep space. Norzal starting to push. Comes back for the undercut. Mackay's looking into the deep space. Lou has it on near sideline, marked by Grant.
Saya with the disc, looking for options, finding the inside. Mickael with the disc. Looking for the swing.
Goes back, Norzal. Van de Peet. Back again, nearly getting a bite. Altenberg carry using the long limbs.
Big fake, looking for Hubin. Starkout getting
close.
high, finding Van de Peet off the fingers. Or was that pressure from Altenberg carry? She didn't get a hand on it, but again, that mental defense.
Absolutely. Shimon's going to pick up and provide that initial support for Douglas, who's going to initiate, marked out by Norzal, hoping to tie the game here. Given the backhand, you don't want to let him have that. Lily's got a read.
Is he going to get there? Oh, that wind.
Oh, he might have a read, but he's not going to finish the book before it has to go back to the library.
I back that decision, though. You know, we've seen a lot of DMT's been bringing a lot of that quick movement, those safe swings they had in the beginning that they brought on the field that hasn't been working for them. I really respect that deep shot. You know, the wind took it a little bit far, but I think that was a good decision. We've got Wizards on offense, though.
Coming into the wind, it turns over early, comes out a little low. He's trying to float it out into that space, wasn't able to connect. But again, looking at the fact they're using a backhand force, I mean, you do not want to give someone like Bryn Douglas that open channel on the backhand.
What a cut.
Breaks to the break side there. Lily with the disc.
And so far on the break side there, it's harder to play offense when there's so much open side to contend with. Finding Far with the points.
And that's going to be a tied game again. DMT back on serve.
And, you know, interesting to see out here from both teams. What we're seeing is, while I'm talking about mental defense, there's pressure on these defensive plays. We have seen some Ds, especially in that underball from the likes of Altenberg carry. And we talked about, with the bookends from Wellington's Wizards, Beswick, thank you. But we're actually seeing a lot of unforced errors right now. While defense is getting in the minds, kind of getting in the way a little bit, I think most of the errors from both teams are coming from just decision, release, just, a slightly off release, not quite the right decision, bobbling the disc themselves. We saw both teams bobble the disc in that last point in each possession. So I think for both teams, if they want to step up a little bit more, a lot of it doesn't necessarily come down to playing better defense. It doesn't come down to that, but instead cleaning up that offense a little bit more.
Yeah, offense shouldn't be based on hope. It should be nice and precise. And that's exactly it. It comes down to execution, exactly as you're saying. If we can start to see those things tighten up a little bit, kindness on the disc, touch on the disc, stability, spin, all of those things that are going to factor in, particularly as the wind is going to start to play an impact. We're seeing some of these long shots. They're going up nice and high, but the further away from the ground you are, the more impact wind has on the play. Early touch by Hoban.
Yeah, great touch. That disc was going to roll as we saw Hubin puts it down. We've got a side stack from Wizards, and everyone flooding. Oh, that was a pull play. That was a pull play, but it's a turnover.
The Hematron side stack, that's their textbook
flood,
special.
Yeah, so we're seeing they're starting in a side stack, but because everyone flooded over, Gardner looking under, I would be willing
to bet with Dinsdale at the front of that stack being that first cut. Had Hoban pulled that one in, Dinsdale would have stretched it into a deep, and they would have gone for a repeat of that earlier performance.
Yeah.
Instead, DMT comes in low, but Far keeps it off the turf. Oh, off the hands again.
It's just... And it could be the wind, you know, even though it's upwind, downwind, sometimes coming into play with those catches. But again, these unforced errors.
Dinsdale again stretching deep. Wong resetting, looking for
Hoban. The fighter jet.
Oh, just enough pressure.
Fantastic defense from Chappell. Yeah, we can see Hoban, you know, he had a hand on it. He went higher, but because Chappell was in position, again, it's a mental D.
I mean, we saw the same thing happen before, that play between Mercer and Norzal. Norzal giving up position at the end was what led to that score. And we're seeing here that DMT having a really great job of holding that position, regardless of whether or not they're on offense or defense. Oh, a close reset, but kept in by Far.
Oh, but it, again.
The disc doesn't lie.
Yeah. That's hard. Anyway, we've got Wizards now with another chance on offense. Hoban walks over it. Looks like Chappell thought he might be picking it up.
Brown's going to be the one to start things off, supported by Wong in the reset space. Hoban with a shimmy.
Yeah, it's hard.
Too clean.
Chappell under pressure there. We saw the entire team. Again, we've seen DMT well drilled in the end zone, keeping that space. Wizards echoing that here. Everyone's keeping space. Clearly, Hoban is the ISO, middle of the field, and that puts so much pressure on a player like Chappell when you have to shut down every single option. Hoban showing that footwork technique, decades of experience coming out to play.
But, I mean, what's the alternative? You have another DMT defender peel off to bracket that side, and you're giving up defending another player. And so all of a sudden, it then becomes sort of, what is it, 6v5 in the end zone.
Yeah.
So not quite going to work. Wellington Wizards up by 1. Aiden Brown goes to Hoban to give Wellington just that slight edge. I mean, this is exactly what you're hoping to see, folks. You want to come to Division 1. You want to see some tight, close ultimate, and that's exactly what the team at Ulti TV is bringing to your screens. If you want to help us out and make that a little easier for you, head on over to patreon.com/UltiTV and give us your spare change.
So we can see both teams out on the field. One thing that I love about this, again, from both sides, both teams have got DMT on the screen here, Wellington Wizards walking off the field, but everyone on the team coming out to the line. And the purpose of that is you've got the 7 players on the field, the 14 on both sides. But for your team, you've got the 7 players. You've got your O-line, your D-line, you know, your special line. But you know, just as important as the people who are working on the field is the sideline. And we have, again, both teams out on the field listening to the plan, knowing what the force is on defense, knowing what the plan is on offense. So they can echo that, you know, say things like pointing out who's open, echoing the force so the players don't confuse that on the field. The sideline can be so critical to scoring points, and having everyone on the same page, it's great to see that from both teams.
Great roller pull from Brennan, slips past the first touch. But it's going to be Shimon to Douglas.
Douglas looking for that same breakthrough to Whitaker. Looking deep to Altenberg Carey. Love to see her streaking deep, and she's got time to see that safely into her hands. What a throw, what a catch.
Mercer available as that reset option. Slams on the brakes, goes back through to Altenberg Carey for a 4-pass offense. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, and Mercer really showing that he is that give-go guy. You know, we saw him on the brakes. I saw the brake side over here. It is. He's been doing such a fantastic job of getting that break shot from Douglas before here, getting those give-go options. He's being such a linchpin in the machine of what DMT is putting out on their offense.
We're going to see again. Brakes. Oh,
and
a little bit of luck.
There's the face mark there, though. I think Altenberg Carey recognizes that. So we see her catching it here. Beswick on defense, he's had some fantastic Ds, but what he's doing here is you can see is he's fully face marking. He has his back to the disc. So Altenberg Carey recognizing that she doesn't need to put it out. You know, she doesn't need to put anything silly on the disc. He doesn't need to keep cutting, because if you're face marking, you don't know where the disc is coming from. She just needs to put it into space to catch. Yeah,
I mean, it's important to recognize just from like a reaction timing perspective that if you can see the disc, you're reacting to the disc moving. If you're face marking, you're having to react to your offensive counterpart's reaction to the disc moving. You're just that extra step behind. That's one of the things that really does highlight good quality, really elite defense is that ability to take in as much information as possible. And you'll often see that throughout the course of the rest of this tournament. You'll see a lot of sort of turning heads on swivels, trying to get as much information as they can. The pull goes up. It's going to touch down out of bounds. And so we're going to see a brick given by Aiden Brown, who's going to bring the disc to a spot about 18 meters in front of their defensive end zone to start things off.
And again, with that face marking, some people are so good at doing that and then switching on when the disc goes up. Once again, that's something you hear from the sideline. The sideline says up, the disc is up. You look for where the disc is so you can make a play on it.
Information and communication, but it's Brown putting it big. It's coming in too low. Oh, Huben has to go to ground and still can't get it. DMT have a shot here.
Style points for the action roll, though.
Absolutely.
Brown, once again, we see that shot. And the wind, this is, again, what I was saying before, classic with the downwind. That was a downwind huck. The wind has a tendency to push the disc down.
Oh, Huben snaffles it up.
Nice interception.
Wong available as the reset. Not engaged yet, decides instead. Yeah, goes criminal far sideline.
Separation.
Chandran wide on the mark, trying to shut everything down.
That is some tight defense between Whitaker and Huben. Disc goes up.
Oh, DMT says no.
And it's getting a little bit physical, it looks like. A little physical down there. Love to see that it's still clean. There's a lot of bodying up on defense. Yeah, nice to see that it's at a level that both teams are all good with.
Far to pick up.
Nice.
Recenters to Payne.
Not options. No options. That we see that middle space is very empty. Far now finding it again, just goes down.
Yeah, we're seeing a lot of handler-initiated offense, I think, from DMT.
And those 10-meter throws are giving them issues down here, though.
Oh, definite contact there on that tackle.
That's, yeah, it looks like a foul called. As I was mentioning before, yeah, unsurprising to see the... Yeah, there's a lot of physicality, and it looks like both teams are okay with it. They're on the same page. But when you take to the ground, if you've knocked over, just take a moment to talk through it.
I'm guessing even though Swanson was trying to sort of pick a line, I think Payne maybe backed up into him. Shot across the bows is going to put Wellington Wizards back up by one. Leilani Smith.
What a take.
To reel that in.
That was fantastic. You can't teach height there. She just came out of nowhere, just jumped up. That was a fantastic take. And, that's so important, too. When the disc is coming at you, she comes to it. She matches that. She's coming at the disc, making it really hard to defend that play. You'll see players without that experience just standing and catching it, but she's coming at it, just blocking it. Was that an offhand? What? Just a fantastic one-hand take. It's so smooth. Ain't no thing. Yeah,
just
great
a little
put.
bit too good, maybe. So Huben again with an assist. I mean, as we said, we did expect to see Peter Huben on either side of a number of scores throughout the game. How are you feeling? We're not gonna put too much detail into it, but how are you feeling at the moment about those predictions that we were talking about just before the start of the game?
I think at the beginning of the game, we were talking about standout players, highlight players, and Huben definitely one of them. We've talked about, his decades of experience. Also, really, the effort he's put into growth in the ultimate community and mentoring and coaching, growing those teams and the players. Wellington, really lucky for that. We saw Huben, predicted Huben would be at the end of a few highlight reels, and, he's definitely been there. So I think when DMT is a team, when you're seeing him off the field, it's going to be good. I'm going to be happy as an offender right now. Where's the defender? Seeing Huben take off the field. Yeah.
Sia puts up the pull for the Wizards, hoping for another break here to take them to halftime. For the folks watching at home, we have games to 15 throughout the entirety of our Division 1 tournament. Gardner on the mark. Shimon goes back to Liston.
Very safe.
Some great work resetting there. Altenberg carry back to Liston in the midfield.
Again, those 10-meter passes, a bit of a struggle, but there we go. Great undercut. Love to see this movement again. DMT kind of sinking back into it. The 1, 2, 3 options. Shimon now assessing the field, finding Altenberg carry. Back to Shimon.
Liston goes for it. Stretching the field. Nothing developing in that space. Liston comes back for it. Can't stop the reset. Shimon, it's low, but it's good.
And, Wellington Wizards playing great defense right now, you know, just making things a little bit harder. Great catch.
Huge catch there. Morse getting involved. Shimon has it. Goes to ultimate carry. Brennan's in the way.
Mind reading.
Some give-go, kicking things off. Gardner stretching the space, putting it up, but it's turning over way too early.
Blade. That is a slicey wee throw. Yeah, I think he was putting a little bit of touch on it, trying to make it a bit softer. Love, you know, the recognition, throwing to the female matchup instead of opens, where you can just launch it. You know, recognizing
I do love the ambition.
The speed difference, but when you're throwing a forehand upwind, it needs more power behind it. So it's really hard to put a softer throw because the wind will do things like we just saw. And that is, if the throw is soft, it'll turn it over into a blade, and that's just going to sink to the ground and roll.
Shimon gets it through, but it's off the hands. Wizards, a shot here to take half. Van der Peet picks it up, goes to Norzal early. Oh, the width of the field closed off by Gardner.
What a break.
Oh, finds Gardner.
Hammer fake. Looking to Brennan.
Mitchell Brennan finishes the half.
Holy guacamole.
Yeah, hey, talk about redemption.
I had burritos last night, and that holy guacamole out here right now. Look at this celebration. Love it. Again, teams that celebrate together, that bring that energy out, you see that carry them. So now it's up to Wizards to carry that energy into the second half. And meanwhile, up to DMT. Oh, we're going to see that point one more time. Gardner with that ankle-breaking cut, and that release, that breakthrough
is ridiculous. But I mean, so just for the folks watching at home, Kelsey did actually have the LTTV crew over for dinner last night. We did have Mexican food. But the ones who are full of beans are the Wellington Wizards. It is 8-6 as we close out the first half of the opening match of the 2025 Division 1 Mixed Ultimate Championships. Wellington Wizards currently up by 2. They're going to kick things off in just a few moments. What an exciting way to start off our tournament. But we will be back with you very, very soon. My name is Blair Monroe.
I'm Kelsey Bielik.
Stay tuned.
Be a weekend lover. Yeah, I'ma be the best damn lover you got. I wanna mess up your covers. I don't wanna meet your mother. Never ever ask me how I've been. Remember why you have my number. I'm the best thing that has ever happened to you. Here's your time to shine. Now show me what you can do. My hands feel on your body, the way we're dancing in the dark. With every move I make, you're falling. The way my lips feel on your body, the way we're moving in the dark. With every breath we take, you're falling. happened to you. Here's your time to shine, or show me what you can do. Make a move, the way my hands feel on your body. We were dancing in the dark. With every move I make, you're falling. The way my lips feel on your body. The way we're moving in the dark. With every breath we take, you're falling. Every breath that we're taking, with every step you're falling in love. With every move that I'm making, every breath that we're taking, with every step you're falling in love. With every move that I'm making, I'm the best thing that has ever happened to you. Here's your time to shine, or show me what you can do. Make a move, the way my hands feel on your body. The way we're dancing in the dark. With every move I make, you're falling. The way my lips feel on your body. The way we're moving in the dark. With every breath we take, you're falling. Every breath that we're taking, with every step you're falling in love. With every move that I'm making, every breath that we're taking, with every step you're falling in love. With every move that I'm making, let me level with you. Let me be in your crew. I just wanna be free. Be with people like me. I'm so not in the mood to be broken and blue. I just wanna go dance. Baby, find me some romance. I don't wanna talk tonight. I don't wanna waste another night. I just wanna hit the floor. Maybe somewhere I haven't been before. I don't wanna kill the vibe. I don't wanna feel it if it don't feel right. I just wanna break the ice. There's so much more to life than tears. There's so much more to life than fears. All I want is a night off. All I need is a night off. All I want is a night off. Ooh. Take it away, take it away, take it away. Do it my way, do it my way, do it my way. Free from the pain, free from the pain, free from the pain. A night off, a night off. I could use a new friend. I don't wanna pretend. You just
Roger.
3, 2, 1. Press 6, please. Oh, and we are back, folks, for the exciting opening of the second half. We have the Wellington Wizards facing off against DMT Wizards, currently up by 2. And starting off the second half on offense, so they do not have to fight for the disc. It's an opportunity here for them to crack things wide open.
And what a way to take half. Wellington Wizards, you score that last point, and then as Blair just said, coming out on offense, that is the place you want to be. We can see here on the screen, teams with the breaks and the clean holds, Wizards up, but fortunately an error right there creeps in, giving DMT a downwind with not much field to work with before they score a point, before they can score a point.
This is what we're kind of expecting DMT to capitalize on well. We see that early far side cut.
Great mark there. Garnier shutting down those break options, finding far on the open side.
Oh, hoping to close, can't quite get it.
And that wind just popping the disc down, needs a little more touch on it. We see Vanderpeet looking at it, maybe determining if it might be tacoed.
I think that might have been a second disc that's just been stomped on by a DMT player.
So here they're
just
throwing
checking
to
it
see
out.
how
Yeah.
it flies.
Take this bad boy for a test drive.
Yep, indicating they need another disc. How many discs does an Ultimate Frisbee team need to play the game? Turns out the answer is not just one. Fresh
In
disc.
case you are wondering where your team fees go, entering into a tournament like this.
People just want to know what it feels like to stomp on some plastic.
So Simmons on the mark.
Vanderpeet looking for the swing, and again, this is a hard place to be. They're in the end zone looking for, that's exactly what you want to do. You want to swing it to the middle of the field, open it up. We've got the hawk coming out looking for Garnier.
Oh, he took a bit of a spin trying to track that one down. I think he was looking to bail out of that deep cut early and come back under.
That's the same third hawk, so it's hard to catch it when the disc is coming from the same third of the field that you cut into. But now we have DMT on offense, looking for another deep option.
Lily puts it up. Looking for Liston. Oh, Peter Huben.
Can't see it right. Oh, and looks like there's a foul on the field. Ooh,
foul and injury. Definitely an injury called.
Ooh, and I did not see what happens there. We'll catch it one more time.
I mean, look at how far away he was. Full speed. Came through.
Yeah,
I mean, I don't. It doesn't look like there was necessarily contact with it. I think, but being blindsided, coming off that outside shoulder, Liston not seeing it. All of a sudden, somebody's there.
Yeah, scary
it's going to impact the landing a little.
Especially if you have previous experiences, you know, playing Ultimate. I know I've been concussed from experiences like that before, and it can shake you a little bit. If that happens again, you know, just having played, having been taken out when people are coming through. Well, again, Huben did a great job of keeping it relatively clean there. It can be just scary with that follow through when you expect that, you know, you may have been hit, in that moment. So it looks like potentially a rolled ankle, but hope it's just temporary. Hopefully something she can just walk off.
An equal opportunity defender, though. Oh, man.
And it's something
like an angry Reddit mod. He'll block you.
It's hard to see. It's hard to see in mixed ultimate, and this is just such classic mixed ultimate here, folks. Is, you know, that's the call. There's a hawk, beautiful hawk to a woman, and the guy comes out of nowhere. And Huben, as we have mentioned before, he's the Sky Patrol coming in with that block. Yep, coming in with that block. You know, such a great option. She was right there. It's such a great D by Huben as well. But I guess, again, conversation on the field looks like it's a contested foul. Up to you at home. Was that clean? What are your thoughts?
Well, ultimately, it matters what the players think. They've decided that it's going to be contested, so the disc is going to go back. And so that's...
And great, you know, regardless, great recognition by Huben. You know, seeing where you can make up the ground, that closing speed was so impressive. And, you know, recognizing where he could make an impact on the field. That's so critical. Seeing, you know, while you might be playing match defense, while you're marking your defender, where can you make a difference? Do you have a play on the disc, especially if it's, of course, importantly, a clean play? But where can you make a difference? Can you get that D? And Huben really recognizing with his foot speed that he could make a play on the disc. Now we have options opening up, finding Douglas, who's now assessing the field.
Manages to get that recentering pass to far, continuing to the far sideline. Oh, a shutdown, Leilani Smith. Stats on stats on stats.
Stats on stats. So now Huben to pick up.
Supported by Swanson and Vanderpeet in the handle space. Vanderpeet moving back towards that midfield. It's going to be Krumnoff on the near sideline.
And we're just gusty at the moment. Feels like it's changing direction slightly. It looks to swing, and that is a D.
Altenberg carry to the surprise of very few who have been watching the game so far. DMT hoping to bring it back within one. Douglas, nice early offload. Ooh, off the hands. Vanderpeet comes in low, finds Garnier. He had the wind up.
Looking for Huben. Great defense. You saw Altenberg carry. She was poaching off Dinsdale here, but stopped that hawk. Chapel coming under, and love that comms. So what happened there, looks like Huben caught the disc, Chapel came through, D'd it, and Chapel said immediately, nah, you had it, and I hit your hand. You know, I hit the disc after you had it, so that's a foul, no contest. Huben with the disc now looking for options.
Swanson has it, offloads to Vanderpeet near sideline, continues through the upline. Huben stretching the deep space, inside shot. Too easy.
My goodness, and how do you stop that momentum, those quick swings? I love Swanson's give go, that up the line, and then that beautiful inside shot to Huben.
Yeah.
Wow, what a point.
Really finely controlled release on that one. So we see again here, Huben goes to Swanson, who can, he's got Vanderpeet on that near sideline, bottom of your screen.
And that give go, a wall pass,
just
and then
boom,
it's
boom. Here. So the shape of that cut, folks, keep in mind, Huben stretched it deep first to pull Chapel with him, and then was able to create that middle channel. So we'll see here,
And that movement right off the disc, that first step, he explodes to get open.
Yeah,
The technique.
That stretch deep first could have been rewarded. Chapel a little bit close. I think Peter Huben recognizing that as well. Maybe they've probably drilled that because the way that, like, the timing for Huben's turnaround to find that disc was really, really tight. So just, however, whether it was practice, whether it's just two teammates who are really gelling in this opening match, nice connection to open up the lead just that little bit wider for the Wizards.
And Huben making a classic 7 cut there. So oftentimes you'll see that cutting over to the break side, then back to the open side. And Huben here doing the opposite, cutting to the open side and back over to the break. So again, I'm so impressed with that small window that Swanson was able to connect through. That is not only throwing to the break side around your mark, but also, you know, past it was well onto the break side. So the angle he put on that disc, especially slightly upwind, yeah, for such a safe catch from Huben. Great execution on both sides. Yeah, well-deserved point. Oh, and the explosiveness. Wizards, again, coming out firing. They have the momentum behind them, and they're a freight train right now. Meanwhile, we've seen in that last point, 2 turnovers that are, again, unforced. We saw, you know, a throw that was slightly mis-executed and some cold drops. So they really just need to dial in. DMT has it. They have everything they need. They just need to reset a little bit, reset those options, find the correct points on the dials.
Shimon getting involved, goes too far. Mercer stretching that near sideline. Is it good?
Becky Farr.
Yes, it is.
Shut the front door. What a wahine. And she's celebrating. She's so stoked. That beautiful release. Such a treat, such a pleasure to run onto a disc like that.
And just what the Dunedin mixed team needed.
Mercer also, you know, showing the skill, the depth. He's being such a, again, a linchpin in this team right now. We've seen him on the wing doing such a great job with those connections, those give-goes. Once again, Farr coming under, and such great execution. That floaty throw, it's just in front of Mercer, and Mercer's able to run onto it. You know the time, thinking about closing his hands with that clap catch. This is exactly it. DMT doing what they need to do.
Now, what I find interesting there is that was opened up by Beswick trying to poach in. I think maybe covering Vanderpeet being a little out of position, closing in, but leaving that mismatch in the downfield. So Mercer didn't have a lot of pressure because there was no one right on his heels to try and attack that disc. So great work by Farr to find an open Mercer, capitalizing on that little bit of that mismatch. DMT back within 2.
Blair, I'm gonna come out of the box here. We've got DMT on defense for the first time in a while. We've got DMT playing downwind on defense. And one thing we haven't seen this game that I think would be kind of exciting is if they played zone defense for a point.
No. Don't be silly.
I think that would be kind of cool.
Well, they do say you should never lose a game without throwing down a zone. We've got a huge pull going up. And we're seeing some aggressive chase. It looks like it might be happening. No, sticking with that match. Oh, no, we do. Maybe? Nope. Looks like they're going to be sticking with a match.
A little bit of saggy handler defense, yeah. So given the options, making those continuations harder. But yeah, great movement right now from Wellington Wizards. Oh, huge fake from Huben. He's looking for those deep options, but great coverage. The women in the end zone there doing a great job of covering those deep looks. Nice.
Round goes to Wong.
Oh, and finding Huben, but an unmarked Dinsdale.
How many times have we seen Emily Dinsdale just unmarked in the midfield? Wong goes up, looking for Huben. One hand.
You know, props to the defense there. Who was that? I think Whitaker on defense. Yeah, doing such a great job. Everything he could. He was on the mark. You know, when you're matched up against someone shoulder to shoulder and they catch it anyway, I think that's like a Peter Huben classic. You know, he's such a deep and experienced receiver, and defense was doing everything they could. I think here Becky Farr on marking Dinsdale, just staying deep, knowing that right now Wizards have been doing such a great job of finding what works, and what works is they're doing really well off deep looks.
And so, I mean, it's a frustrating thing, though. It's a tough spot to be in defensively when you look at what DMT have to do. So Yes, absolutely. Respect the deep looks. We know that when you've got players like Hubin, when you've got players like Dinsdale who have done a great job already of stretching that deep space, you want to be downfield off them to give yourself as good an opportunity to shut anything down put to them. But if you overcommit to that, you're leaving them open in the underspace. And we know that Dinsdale can also put those throws from pretty much anywhere in her half. So it's a hard thing to leave, right?
Yeah,
you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't, you're damned if you DMT. Wellington Wizards up by 3. The score is 10-7 in the opening match of the 2025 Division 1 Mixed Ultimate Championships.
Yeah, so the line's coming out now. Wizards with hand up indicating that they're ready. And love to be in a position where you're pulling the disc downwind. And it floats, which is also what you're looking for off a pull, giving your team time to run down on defense. Shimmin with the disc, finding an open Altenberg carry. What a huge huck fake.
The violence on that one. Shimmin takes it far sideline, supported by Liston as an easy reset, but he decides to go up and over, looking for Altenberg carry. Not today.
Great take by O'Sullivan.
And some quick work. Gardner putting it up, looking for O'Sullivan, hoping for the bookends. What a read!
My God, what a great offhanded catch. A trailing edge catch. And you know, you saw that open up. And like Gardner, I was thinking in my mind, rude not to, really. You know, there's such separation between O'Sullivan and the defender. How can you say no to such a beautiful cut with such separation? Great release from Gardner on that huck, and again, that offhanded take. So well done.
Yeah, so we're seeing it here. Norzal goes to Gardner. Plenty of space.
Rude
O'Sullivan picking up a lot of speed.
Just that offhanded catch there.
You could see Max Cowie, that little bit of head drop early, knowing he'd given up the ghost.
Great movement. Yeah, great movement from Wizards. Once again, hard to shut that down, and this is why we saw in that last point why DMT was trailing behind, why players like Becky Farr were trailing behind players like Dinsdale, because once again, they're doing really well at getting to the end zone first. Wizards are doing a great job here.
So O'Sullivan there with 2 goals and a block. So bookends on that last possession as well. Stats on stats.
Ways around this. What can DMT do to stop these deep pucks? I've mentioned it before. I would love to see them play zone. And zone is helpful because you have one person, at least one person, potentially 2 people hanging out deep. So they're in that space. They're stopping those deep pucks because there's someone there.
Yeah.
Love to see Far, you know, some of the players trying to keep the energy high. Another thing you can do, though, is a relatively straight-up mark, especially for the first 2 stall counts. That makes it harder. It opens up swing options, but a straight-up mark will prevent, it makes it harder to huck if there's someone in front of you, especially standing off the disc. They can mark for that.
Yeah, I mean, that's exactly it. I think it's important to recognize, too, that where you've got the kind of foot speed that the Wizards are displaying, what they're doing is once the handler's getting that disc off the first or second pass of the point, they're sending someone deep. If you can just have one of your defenders flare out in front, stop that big option early, you're wasting that energy on that downfield cut as well. They're going to hit top speed, realize it's not coming, and then they've got to cycle back through. It's just burning away at those resources. So it's not a bad shout. I guess the big thing is who would you like to see on this DMT defensive line? Who would you like to see them send to deep? I mean, they're coming out on offense now, but if you were going to see DMT put out a defensive zone, if they can generate a hold here, they're coming out on defense. I'd like to see Sam Mercer. We've seen him get some really, really good positions
honestly,
defensively
the same
and offensively.
I think he'd be...
Park him up the back.
Great deep. Yeah,
Give him enough time, enough lead time. He'd be able to shut down your Hubins and your Dinsdales if they're making those deep cuts. That might be the option if DMT want to tighten this up.
Great option. There's players like, you know, Douglas, who you could put anywhere on the field. He's going to be effective in his zone. But yeah, Mercer deep, I think, is a fantastic choice. We have them coming out on offense, though. Douglas on the disc. Yeah, looking to score a point before they potentially come out in his zone if they decide that. We've got ultimate carry.
Lily's got it. Comes back near sideline. Douglas. The foot flash from Brennan. Slowing momentum. Lily's an option. Goes big.
Looking deep. Double coverage with the women. And that's a great read by
Amber Lou. Amber Lou going to shut that one down for the Wizards. Number 24 on the block. Van de Peet to pick up and start things off. Oh, Brennan with the Dave Sanders circle cut, but it's a Callahan!
Callahan!
Mercer, we called it. He's the guy you want on defense.
We used the one we want in the end zone. You know, you want the deep. But ladies and gentlemen, friends, Fondo Frisbee players, it's one of the most glorious things you can do in Ultimate Frisbee and Blair. We've seen it in the first game now.
Oh,
wow.
you do love
I'm
to
so
see
excited.
it.
I'm standing up.
DMT with a crucial moment here, and it is the kind of thing that can swing the energy of a game in either direction. Great play by Mercer with the battle braids in the middle of your screen at the moment.
And that's huge. That's one of the scariest things. You know, I've been talking about the importance of a swing, especially when you're on the sideline in your end zone. You're on offense. You're a handler. You're looking for downfield options. But you want, ideally, anywhere on the field. You want the disc in the middle of the field because that's where you have the most space to move it. When you're on the sideline, it's hard. So they're looking for the swing. But a huge threat is, as you can see, you know, it's devastating to have thrown or be involved in a Callahan. But one of the, you know, one of the biggest fears is to swing it and you have defense right there. You know, scoring a point on defense, you know, oh yeah, again, one of the coolest things. A great heads-up defense. That tenacity is what DMT needs to continue carrying those points on the board.
It was great seeing that get wound up too, because you could see Sam Mercer take those early couple of steps, and then he held back. He was like, there's no way she's going to throw that, but it came away. He was able to recorrect. Sam Mercer, assist to Sam Mercer. Big shot from Hubin, looking for Josh Wong. Can he get the read? Too clean. Wellington Wizards back up by 4 in the 70th minute.
So exciting. I need more. Don't stop. Okay, Peter Hubin. Okay, Scott. Wow, that was this is so again, fast and furious, and I'm here for it.
Yeah, so just to keep track, by the way, Peter Hubin currently sitting on a plus-minus in terms of contributions to errors of +8. So 4 assists, 4 goals, 2 blocks with only 2 turnovers. Definitely showing what kind of impact he's having on the field. We see here Brown goes to the far side. Chappell closes, but Hubin puts up that big backhand. Wong with a great read to get underneath it.
I do want to remind Wong that this is Ultimate Frisbee and not football, though. But a great catch. We just don't want to see more taco discs, okay? I mean, treasure the plus.
Yeah, I mean, I would say after 2 disc replacements that we'd start to see those spikes dry up. But, I mean, it's hard to put a lid on that boiling pot, folks.
Yeah. No, that was, you know, celebration is definitely worthy after, a huge catch like that. It's so exciting running onto discs like that. A great put by Hubin. Great catch.
We can see Mercer. Sam Mercer with 3 goals, 2 assists, and 1 block. But keep in mind that pretty sure 3 of those stats came from 1 touch on the disc. That beautiful Callahan we saw earlier to bring Dunedin up to 8.
And that's it. If you want stats, just score Callahan. Say, is it really that easy?
I mean, hey, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. There's nothing wrong with a little bit of double dipping or triple dipping. But first things first, big pull goes up. It's going to go nice and deep into the defensive end zone for DMT. 1 early touch, a little bit of no, after you. But they resent it to Douglas. Goes to the far sideline, finds Far. Chandran stretching early. Oldenburg carry has an option, but Arneson's closing down that deep space.
I love this. These high releases. Oh, that's so sad.
With Oldenburg carry's height, that's a pretty safe option, but Brennan's going to pick things up.
Oh, nice inside shot. Love that. Firing. Safe in the hands of Beswick. Beswick's faking, looking for options.
Oh, off the hands of Arneson.
Just as it gusts, that's really bad luck with the wind. Just gusted up there.
So a chance. Douglas.
Looking for options, looking for Shimon, finding, they're loving these high releases, and Far, it's a bit too high for her.
Norzal, quick on the break. We've got Brennan with the laser show, looking for Mickael. Is there enough?
You know,
oh,
that's incredible. I love that release. The fire on it going upwinds. That was, obviously it wasn't perfect. It was almost perfect though, because it was floating. He put so much power. Remembering the last one he put up that turned into a blade, it was a little bit too soft. And so this time he puts the power behind it, going upwind, and because it's upwind, it's also floating, making it easier to run onto. Unfortunately, Powerful man, powerful throw. Still a little too much to reel in and also out of bounds. But we'll see if there's an injury. It looks like he's okay. Sometimes when you take to the ground, you know, you just need a point. you just need a little break.
I mean, great chase down too.
Yeah. And, you know, I love the option. That was a very safe decision, that separation. Once again, Wellington Wizards really doing well with these deep hucks.
Shimon trying to get involved. Liston goes back. Mercer to Liston again. They're in a dangerous spot. Nice and open.
Jeez,
Shimon up and around. Finds Chandran.
Open. Chandran, yeah, wide open there.
Oh, miscommunication. Can't quite get it there. Gardner to pick up. Hoping to put it away. Goes back to Van der Peet. An option on that front cone. It's
nice. Brennan with the point. Showing the disc there.
Wellington Wizards 2 away from a win here. We have a game to 15, folks.
Games to 15. Yeah, Wellington Wizards are getting closer and closer, step by step. That hard turnover. Again, the execution errors on DMT, and it's hard to see that because, or is it good to see that? You know, when you're the team that's making those execution errors, it's hard because you're obviously not, you know, you're making those mistakes. But at the same time, it's really good because you know that's within the realm of your control to fix. You know, when the other team is beating you, when they're getting run through Ds, when they're, you know, when they're playing better than you, when they're outplaying you in every way, it's really hard. But right now, most of the turnovers that we're seeing coming from DMT are self-forced. So it's just cleaning that up. So if you're making the mistake, you can do that right there. Wow, Caitlin Van der Peet cleaning up with the assist, adding another one to the board there. Anyway, DMT just needs to dig a little bit deeper. As we said, coming into the second half, they more than have the ability to do that. Right now, it's just a matter of unlocking that potential. Not with mind-altering tracks, not with DMT, but with the ultimate frisbee. Unlock your potential.
All right, we're going to see Montgomery with the disc for the Wizards. Putting a hand up. Responded by DMT.
Another one, you look at the half, you look at the scores from half and how much Wellington Wizards have pulled away.
Yeah.
You know, we're matching point for point in the beginning, and they really have kept the fire hot.
Yeah, I mean, that's the peril, right? DMT really seem to have opened the doors, not only to perception, but also for the Wellington Wizards to come back through. But it's DMT on offense at the moment, getting a good reset to Lily. Far available as an option as Pete poaches off just a little bit. Giving up that space. There's an upfield cut.
Oh, he's
finds
everywhere.
Mercer. Man of the match so far.
Looking for Simmons.
Oh, Simmons with the one-hand take.
Take, lady.
Hoping to finish.
That's
not able to close. Just off the fingertips. Van der Peet. Norzal pressured out. Up and over with the scuba to Norzal. Looking off Sia on that inside option. Trying for the upline. Still too close from far. O'Sullivan. Van der Peet with give and go. Overbid by Douglas. Sia with the disc. Puts it up.
Sia puts it.
Find it. Looking for Lou.
Hawk, and that is too much sauce.
On the toss. Oh, heartbreak.
That is a heartbreak. Sia, that was an incredible throw. And, you know, I think a great decision. But, yeah, to quote Mr. Blair Monroe, the sauce on the toss is a little too saucy.
Don't quote me. Don't do that. They're going to get in the comments if you do. All right, we have DMT about to kick back.
The equipment call. So Douglas just tightening up the shoelaces, making sure he doesn't trip over. And walking the disc up. Again, you know, on that end zone line. Ooh, it occurred. Opening up that cut right away, and he wants the deep look. Oh, my God, and he puts it.
Sam Mercer's underneath. Oh, double coverage is not going to be enough. You just can't stop him. You can only hope to contain him.
Oh.
Lily with the big fake of the
Why
scuba.
not?
Mercer coming back into the downfield. Norzal shutting down the channel, but it goes to Douglas again.
Finding
Far available there as an option marked by Van der Peet. One hand looking for Lily. Can they finish? Yeah, looking for it.
Oh, goodness gracious.
Miscommunication there.
That was
not
so
going to
cool.
be so close.
So hard. You know, love the movement, love the athleticism. A lot of those catches, just awesome. You know, the wind making things a little bit spicy, but ain't no problem. Especially the offhanded catches we're seeing in this game. And looking for that continuation. Unfortunately, yeah, the execution out of bounds. And you know, even if you do get there to catch it, it's really hard to keep an out of bounds disc in play.
Van der Peet.
Hotly contested by Far.
Finds Gardner. To see her again, hoping to stretch the field a little. Norzal cutting close to the upline, comes back in on that classic 7 cut, puts the big shot up, looking for O'Sullivan. Lily's under it too.
Nice, and that is the defense
out
that we've needed to see DMT playing. That's exactly it. You know, he was running, he had the great catches down there. Here we're seeing him boxing out, and that is the pressure that we need to see DMT playing on those deep cuts if they want to.
It's exactly as you were saying earlier, Kelsey, is that we know that the Wizards have been really prioritizing their long game, and DMT needing to stay tight while also controlling the depth of the field.
Yeah. Yeah, incredible long game, and exemplified by the execution on that low release backhand huck as well. We've got Douglas with the disc finding Whitaker.
Mercer goes to Lily.
Sorry.
Gardner closes the jaws. Inside shot finds an open Douglas. Some early movement.
Holstering, looking for a swing, finding Douglas. Douglas faking the push pass, looking deep, looking for Far.
Oh, bit of a spin, and it peels away.
You know,
catching it over the wrong shoulder, trying to track the disc.
Van der Peet, you know, slightly off the mark there, but I think did a great job of like taking up space, you know, also like just reading it differently. Really, you know, good defensive positioning.
Oh, Gardner breaking some ankles out there, makes himself available as an option on the near sideline. Oh, Norzal can't quite get it.
That gusty wind is a difficult contender. We would like to say the third defender on the field. You know, you've got the team playing defense. You've got both teams out there, and then the wind out there messing it up. You know, at least tends to be consistent. Well,
I suspect that the Wizards are trying to close out the game, and in doing so are rushing things a little more than they need to. We're seeing some great defensive pressure from DMT, but a little bit more patience from the Wizards. They've got a nice lead. They just have to hold on to it. Far takes the recentering pass,
nice
goes to Mercer.
Great movement.
Good coverage by Lou in the deep space, stopping that up line, but oh, there it is!
Wowza! That was such a great inside throw. You know, Van der Peet, she's playing open side defense. That's all you can ask your defenders to do, which is why those inside out throws, which is what we've seen Wellington Wizards execute and capitalizing on as well. Here, DMT doing the exact same thing. It's really hard to defend a break throw. Van der Peet struggling to get to the break side of her player. Yeah, it's D that. And great execution, great hands, you know, from Far. Yeah, Mercer and Far adding more stats to the board there, exemplifying that great handler movement. The backhand fake, and he's also relatively unmarked as he's looking for options. Manages to get the inside off. Yeah,
so close from Van der Peet. Becky Far, second goal on the board plus an assist. Trying to do it both ways. Putting on some great work here, doing some huge work in the handle space, being a really confident and available player to keep the disc moving from DMT, but not afraid to stretch things a little bit deep if she reckons she's got the athletic advantage on those closing cuts. So we're going to see some DMT defense. They've got the wind at their faces a little bit, so the wind is moving mostly from the left-hand side of your screen and that far corner towards us here in the sort of middle of the screen. So a little bit of a crosswind, a little bit of an up-downwind. We'll see what their defense does to capitalize on that, to see if they can bring it back to a 3-point deficit.
Now we've got, with mixed ultimate, obviously with 7 players, the matchup switches. The female matching players, male matching players, is the female matching points. But every 2 points it'll switch to the other. So we've got majority women on the field right now, obviously different between women's and opens, where it's single gender play.
We're finally seeing that zone defense you've been asking for from DMT. Brown puts it the high edge, but Wong can peel it back.
I love this. So we're seeing an arrowhead of sorts, where they're really, this is stopping the hucks. That's the point of a zone like this. You put how to unlock it. What do they need to do? You know, as soon as you figured out a zone, the zone it's broken, it's done. But how long does it take you to figure that out?
No, just a great defensive sequence there. I mean, you could see Chapel parked up in the deep space, dealing with the deepest threat in Krumnov, but watching that shot go up, with the way that the wind's kind of gusting around, slowing the disc down, giving him an opportunity to capitalize. You could see Dinsdale also trying to stretch, using her foot speed to close down the deep space, but having someone there. It's a no-fly zone, and DMT able to convert off that one. A really solid performance. Douglas with the disc.
So again, male matching point with a male releasing the disc, and it goes up. Looks like, yeah, great pull. I thought it was out of bounds, but it wasn't. And unsurprisingly, running that zone again, Vanderpeet with a high catch, finding Hubin, looking for the swing.
Smith goes back to Vanderpeet, to Brown. Oh, Swanson instead to Brown. Swanson trying to do the give-go early.
Right now.
Shifting the zone.
Finding
it's Gardner.
Looking for options, but we see Wizards, they're relatively downfield right now. There's a lot of people close to the disc allowing for this quick swinging movement, but not a lot of room for continuations. Hubin looking for options, opting for the swing, finding Brown.
Swanson has it. Wanting to go through the middle of the zone, but looks off Brown, trying to get him to reposition.
Interesting zone here. It looks like they're, previously a bit of a wall, but it is that same arrowhead. Finding
there was a touch from Kurdish Marsh.
And that's gonna do it. That's it. It's working well for them.
Harsh by Marsh to generate the turn. We've got Kessler with the disc. Big sweeping fake centers to Douglas instead.
Kessler still open, finding Altenberg carrying through the hands, finds the ground, converting. It looks like match defense now.
Hubin to Dinsdale or Brown.
Looking for that.
Brown goes too early, and it's going to give a shot back to DMT.
That's that defense. You know, you don't always have to get a hand on the disc on defense. Sometimes even just going early can make the offense think, maybe I should go early too. You know, if they think they should catch, they can catch it. Maybe I can catch it too.
And I mean, we saw that in like one of the very, very early possessions. Hubin shuts that down, but there's definitely contact on the play.
Yeah, that was a little bit.
Over Theo Misson. I mean, we saw that earlier on. It was Brennan and Shimon in that far corner on the right-hand side of the screen, that early score.
Yeah.
Brennan goes early, gets a bite out of Shimon. Shimon able to correct in midair to be able to pull that score in.
Oh, that was a good point. And it looks like no call. And so fantastic to see that. Fantastic to see that, and interesting to see the countdown in play.
Brown goes back to Vanderpeet. That same zone defense.
Oh, great catch.
One-hand take by Swanson.
With a lot of pressure on the mark from Marsh. A lot of pressure on those swings, but still, yeah, great hands.
Beautiful break there to Brown.
Yeah, Brown is really showing his effectiveness, not only with the poise with the throws, but also, you know, catching these low ones. Swings. Wizards just so safe with the disc right now.
Ooh, as you say that, though, a little bit of a bobble. Brown keeps it secure, goes to Hobin. Vanderpeet, oh no! Oh, missing getting a touch, but there's going to be a call on the play. A contested call. So it'll go back.
Again, contested goal goes back to the thrower here. Finding Vanderpeet again. Oh, and they're trying to take bites out of it. You see how close this defense is to taking bites out of these shots, these swings that they're making. You know, it's a counter. The more throws you put up, the odds increase of, you know, making a turnover. Do they increase?
And there it is.
That's it. Yeah.
Right on schedule. DMT with a shot to bring it back to within 2.
You know, the more throws you put up, you know, the more likely you are to make a mistake, make a bobble. It just adds to the pressure. But here we've got Bryn Douglas picking up, looking for Altenberg carry in the end zone. She's knocking on the door, though, just on the line. The line is still out, finding Douglas again.
Just not cuts happening just yet.
Oh, and there's a little bit less structured than we saw last time in the very beginning of the game. There's a lot more movement in that end zone. I want to see it a little bit tighter, a little bit cleaner. People are getting excited. They want to score. And you love to see that energy. And I love to see Eaton break his knees there. Oh
he
gosh.
ain't missing that one. Theo missing number 64 to put it back within 2 as Dunedin mixed team DMT go 11 against the Wellington Wizards 13. 90 minutes on the clock.
He had it the whole time. He was just trying to keep things exciting with that little bit of sliding, a bit of ice skating in the end zone. You know, it's a hot, hot day, but he's keeping it ice cold. So the swing there, and this is what I'm saying, the end zone is a little bit messy. In the beginning, we saw that structured stack, very clear, but here, front of the stack, classic cut. He was in bounds the entire time, but again, sliding around just to keep things exciting for us.
I think the timing on that cut as well is absolutely phenomenal. When we had that wider view just a little bit ago, you could see he's waiting for the one of the Wellington players to have cleared out of that space so that he's got a really good line of attack for that open side cut to finish off that point. So great work there by Misson.
You know, Wellington Wizards, they've been playing fantastic. They've been on with their deep throws. They've been using the depth of the team. They're on fire, and this zone has cracked it. You know, it's showing cracks in that facade, and they are so close. We were talking a few points ago about how they're trying to close it out, you know? They're 2 points away from taking the game. But Dunedin right now, it's, you know, with a few points under their belt, it's a scary place to be when you're the Wellington Wizards. Yeah, you're so close, and you just want to close it out, but yeah, it's scary.
Yeah, I mean, it's great to see as well. I mean, we're looking at a couple of back-to-back breaks from DMT, but importantly, and it's exactly what you were saying before, Kelsey, about the idea of just that pressure building and building, stringing those passes together. 2 of the possessions from the Wellington Wizards in that previous point were 15 passes before that turnover was generated. So a 15-pass possession, and then their next possession was only 2. They were able to generate the turn from DMT, and then 15 passes again, but it's forcing those errors to slowly creep in. Percentages stack. Folks, go back home, write a thank you letter to your year 12 maths teacher. That's how we play the game. So DMT back within 2 now. We're going to see a timeout get called. Now is as good a time as any. Wellington Wizards have given up 3 points back-to-back now, so it's a time for them to maybe consolidate. They've got to close out this game. We've seen they've maybe tried to pick the pace up a little bit high, and that's where some of those errors are creeping in. If they could take that second, get everyone back on the same page, slow everything down a little bit. Less haste, more speed.
But the last time they took a timeout, let's remember, in the very beginning, they were 2 points down, and it worked. They pulled it together and it worked for them. So, you know, we don't have a lot of data points to draw on to inform our decision making here. At the same time,
it's not going to stop us trying.
One is as good as any. They did it before, and that shows mental toughness. It shows resilience as a team. They did that before and it worked. So here, timeout, bring the heads back in the game, and, you know, this could be very successful. I think it's a really intelligent move on their part.
Good to see as well. Little bit of communication there between Misson and Vanderpeet. Just those final discussions and make sure everything is copacetic following that contested foul call. Just a reminder for the folks watching at home, just contesting a call doesn't necessarily mean that you're playing the game in an unsportsmanlike way. It just means you recognize, hey, we're probably not going to agree on this. Let's get back to the game. The reason that we're all here and the reason that you folks at home are watching this beautiful stream on this beautiful day in this beautiful country, brought to you by the beautiful team at Ulti TV. It's the Wellington Wildcats coming out on offense here.
Yeah, so DMT right now, things to discuss, because, you know, a timeout can be beneficial for you as well. While they have that momentum that they're trying to maintain, that they're trying to carry out of it. What's been working well for them has been the zone, and then they carry that momentum into that offense, and they're scoring the points. So to read the future a little bit, to call what I expect, I wouldn't be surprised to see a little bit more of that. Again, if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Big pull from Brent Douglas.
Coming off to receive, and it looks like it's going to fade out of bounds.
Oh, good patience. I mean, the good thing there, though, was with that high loft, that long hang time for the disc, it's going to give DMT a great opportunity to have chase down the disc. But considering that it's bricking, it's going to shift the offense around. So defensive positioning, they're not really getting as much advantage from that as they would have liked. We're going to see it brought into the brick mark about 18 meters in front of the end zone.
It can be beneficial, though, to start off a stagnant disc instead of a moving one, especially when you're in a zone. It allows you to set that up. As you can see, kind of they're struggling to open up options right off the bat, and that's because they're set, they're in place, they're already around all the players. What an inside! Willem Garnier! Holy guacamole. Hot diggity
goes
dog.
to Wong.
A nice movement.
Dinsdale
Oh my
far
gosh.
sideline. Brown stretching the field now. Decides instead to go back. Resetting. It's Van der Peet. Krumnoff. Big fakes shifting the zone. Curtis Marsh says, not in my swamp, but lets it slip through to Van der Peet. That arrowhead shifting around, so they're favoring the sidelines when they get it close, looking to shut down a trap.
Nice
Wong slips
movement.
through.
They need to tighten this arrowhead a little bit right now. I mean, at the same time, they're forcing the movement, and that's the small ball movement that they want. Yeah, preventing those breaks on the insides, though. That quick shift. And meanwhile, these quick throws, what they're doing is they're tiring out the arrowhead. You know, it's the end of the game right now. And so when you're throwing those swings, you're making them move, making them run, you tire them out, and so you have a little more time as a handler to open up additional options.
Van der Peet getting absolutely stuck in. Krumnoff having moved into the downfield over the top of Norzal, but it's Douglas in the deep space.
Oh, and it can be so scary sometimes to be in that downfield space because you're not around the disc, and the only time you have to shine is right when it comes your way and you can't mess up. Douglas showing precision there as he makes it happen. Now fires deep.
Looking for Whitaker again. Oh, it's
Wow.
too good. Served
What
on a platter.
Take
DMT back within one.
DMT damn.
Hey, never lose a game without throwing down a zone. As we moved into the second half of the match, exactly as you said, Kelsey, you'd love to see a little bit of zone.
Wow.
Clearly, as the
look at
DMT
that
players
score.
patrolling up and down the sideline, they must have overheard it and said, hey, guys, what if we try a zone?
Oh, shucks.
And it is working for them. They are back within one. Keep in mind, this was a 4-point deficit, a 5-point deficit. Wizards were up by quite a lot earlier on in the piece. DMT having able to shut down those deep options. We saw it just before as it went over the top of the head of Norzal to be eaten up by Douglas. And then some quick 1-2s to get it back. That inside break, low release, but a lot of heat on it. Floating out the front for Whitaker despite the great pursuit from Wong.
Yeah, that's great defense. You know, he's right on his shoulder, and it's so hard with shots like that that are just so perfectly placed to run onto. I have to say, you know, looking at the score, I get stressed out and also really excited because what more can you ask for as a sideline? You know, what more can you ask for from the commentary booth? Incredible play by both teams, bringing it up to such a close, you know, end few points like this, that this is what it's going to come down to. You know, this is everything you ask for in a game of Ultimate. We've seen different play styles. We're seeing Hawks. We saw the fast movement in the beginning. We're seeing the zone defense coming out, and you know, the strategy, the figuring out how to adapt to these different things that both teams are throwing. And they're so close, and it's so exciting.
And so to kick things off, it's going to be far for the pull again. A little bit of outside edge. It's going to touch and roll.
Great
Who's
pull.
back there? It's going to be Aiden Brown. Quick recentering past Ahuba, and his cannon's back on the field. Decides instead working with Krumnoff. That same defensive zone that we're seeing from DMT. Looks like it's arresting the momentum. Curtis Marsh again getting involved. Puts it up high. There's a lot of float. Swanson wants it, but no!
Ooh.
Dinsdale not able to generate completion there.
Yeah, it's hard to save a disc that's coming down so fast, so hot, straight at the ground. Dinsdale showing her speed as she's trying to get under it, but yeah, it's hard.
Far early, goes to Marsh. Using the width, trying to use those lateral movements to keep the disc alive. Van der Peet closes, Altenberg carry with a quick 1-second release. Nice and early. Marsh winds up the big shot. Goes for midfield, Altenberg carry again.
And these deep cuts, the undercuts a little bit, I think. Yeah, so there's a foul. Looks like maybe Hubin stepped on his foot, marking infraction. Oh, that was a violation, sorry, not a foul, but play has stopped. Yeah, timing's a little bit off at the moment with these continuations. And through the hands of Altenberg carry, potentially, there was quite a hard shot with the wind. And it can be hard to reel in those hard shots, those fast ones. But now we have Wizards on offense, and the cop, that arrowhead, adapting, going back, transitioning into his zone.
We've just heard the hooter as well, folks.
Far in the end zone.
Krumnoff wide open, just parked up. Jack Payne only really paying attention to Dinsdale. He hasn't seen, and he's not getting a lot of sideline support. So now he's over swamped in the end zone. If they can put it up, Wellington Wizards rather can put themselves. There it is.
Yeah, that's...
over the top of
that's
Dinsdale.
Hard. I love that option. Honestly, the execution's so good, and just, you know, that was centimeters too high for her. She's such a solid receiver. Oh,
Yeah, just I mean,
gives
and that's
everything to try to catch it.
it was the right thing to have done.
Yeah, definitely. So challenging to be a deep in that space, split on both sides. But now we have DMT on offense, looking deep. Can Smith get there? She absolutely can. Finding Vanderpeet with the quick swing, looking for Hubin, fakes it. Finds him with a second bite. Hubin hugging it deep. Can he do it this time?
Looking for Swanson, but it's fading to the far sideline. One hand. He's
Nice
got it.
catch. So safe.
So we are going to finish ourselves off with a game to 15, folks. Wellington Wizards up by 2 over DMT to come out now on defense.
Definitely an exciting matchup. So Wellington Wizards, as Blair just said, 1 point away from sealing the game, from cinching that first win, the first game of this tournament. Hubin with the release one more time. And I love this. There's pressure on it, but so much poise. Catching it, ain't no thing, one-handed. He makes it look so easy. Swanson with the receipt there.
Still seeing these kick spikes, though, after how many disc swaps we've had. And just, reminder, the first game of the tournament.
Yeah, that's the mark of a good receiver, right? I've talked a little bit about mental D. You know, when you're just in that space, when you're pressuring it, it can really get into your mind as an offender. But Swanson shows like he's not flustered, he's not fussed, going up for what's a relatively challenging take and just making it look so easy. We've got Sia with the disc, indicating that it is female matching points for Wahine, women on the field. And again, CL will be pulling with a slight crosswind. We've seen some different pulls come out. And again, the best pull you can do for your team is one that floats, that's high before it lands. And that allows the defense to run down and get into position. We'll see what Sia is aiming for here. Looking for the sideline, which is also a great place to put it. It means you have to swing it, which is what DMT is looking to do right away. Finding
Douglas in that midfield. Comes around, Lily near sideline, marked by Norzal. Arneson patrolling, around Kessler. Douglas on the up line, wanting to close it here.
Looking for options.
There's the aggressive up line, cuts back into the handler space, but it's too much float. Oh, Lily manages to get to it.
Oh, nice swing, looking for Far, who takes it high. Sia in hot pursuit.
Just a casual hip check and a big layout, but there's a foul called immediately on that one.
That was, you know, great tenacity on defense. Far looking for options. You know, yeah, that. What do you guys think? What do you think happened there? A little bit of, you know, contact. There's a lot happening in that point there.
Ultimately, though, it's a self-officiated sport, folks. It's up to the players to make that call to resolve things.
So one more time, we can see that in slow-mo, catches it. So we're asking right now, did he have possession? Did he have control of the disc in his hands when it was D'd? You know, did the D impact it? Looks like it was a contested foul, so the disc is going back to Far.
Recenters to Lily, to Douglas. Gardner closing the trap. Oh, second attempt doesn't come away. It's going to give the disc back to the Wizards and a chance to close out the game here. Brennan to pick up and initiate. Sia available as that early option in the reset space. A vertical stack started by Norzal.
Yeah, match defense right now. So they've transitioned away, you know, from the zone. When there's a quick turnover like this, it can be easier to just find a player to mark instead of getting in a position and finding out where you need to be on the field. Nice movement right now. We've got a swing look. Douglas too far away for the Callahan. The disc goes to ground.
Little low. Gardner's going to be kicking himself for that one.
We've got... Far running through. We've got Douglas picking up the disc, marked by Gardner, and that clean end zone. Great point.
Kessler to bring it back within one.
Wow, wow, what a game. Health and safety check. If you're on the edge of your seat, please sit back. We don't want anyone falling off. Now's a good time if you need some water. Please remember to hydrate. This is it. This is why we come here. This is why we come here to see teams, especially from, you know, the two different islands. Wellington region, Dunedin. Dunedin is so often, you know, playing each other, but they're playing against Christchurch. They're so far away. And this is why we come, you know, to see matchups like this across the Mutu, across the country. Bring it all out and play in such close games. Putting it all out on display. What a point.
Yeah, just a great find there by Douglas to bring it back to 1. And now we're in a situation. DMT have to have 2 breaks back to back if they want to win this one, but they've been able to do it. We've seen it happen. I mean, earlier on, just in this game alone, they strung together 3 breaks back to back for a 4-point run to keep it back to a close match. Wellington Wizards, we're going to see what their kill line looks like. 7 players, the best for this situation.
Kill, kill, kill. Yep. So that is the yeah, they're putting out their top players. They want to cinch it. You know, they want to score this point, because if they give DMT another point, maybe misworded there, if DMT takes it out and scores the next point, that is the worst situation to be in. You know, all of a sudden next point wins. So if you can just end the game cleanly now, you know, it just really is good for the cortisol levels. It's good for your mental, emotional, and physical health.
Yeah, looking at it, we've got Wong, Brown, Hubin, Swanson, Klumnoff, Dinsdale, and Smith. So some really, really great power on this Wizards side. We're seeing the zone defense from DMT. It's Douglas patrolling the deep space, trying to discourage anything to stretch the field. Some quick give-go movement. We're seeing a lot of Hubin stretching or moving around the disc. Wong's got it on the near sideline. Brown's available in that deep space as that option, but it's Curtis Marsh marking the disc.
It stretches Douglas, who's the deep. It stretches him back a little bit. At the same time, it's hard to put those throws up, especially when you have 3 solid defenders around you playing in an arrowhead zone.
Big fake gets Kumnoff near sideline. Chandran shuts down that early channel.
Yeah, Zone doing a great job right now at putting pressure on every single throw. You can see how far back they're forcing that swing to go, stopping those swings. Hubin with the disc, looking for options. Throwing a hammer, finding Wong.
But there's not... Dinsdale's there as a deep option. Brown with some give-go. There's momentum. It's up. It's down.
And Dinsdale with the points. Am I surprised? Not at all. What a beautiful way to close that out. You know, so much pressure from the zone, slowing things down, but that hammer over the top just cracking it open, and such a beautiful way to close out the match from the Wizards.
Well, that's what they say. So wide, you can't go round it. You're going to have to go over the top, and that's exactly what the Wellington Wizards do to close out that game. 15 over DMT 3. The opening match of the 2025. We see it again.
Yeah, a great job. That's a hard throw to make, but executed so well. So beautiful. And thank you guys for joining us for this first match. Such an exciting matchup between Wellington Wizards and Dunedin DMT, the Dunedin mixed team. Wellington Wizards, of course, coming out on top, cinching out the game. We'll see you soon, though. Who's up next?
Yeah, it's a great question. We'll be back with our continued coverage of the 2025 Division 2 Mixed Ultimate, Division 1 rather, Mixed Ultimate Championships here at Bob Dean's Field. If you're in the region, come on down, say hi, bring us a cup of coffee. My name is Blair Monroe.
I'm Kelsey Bielik.
And for the team at Ulti TV, thank you so much for watching. Stay tuned for more.
Ka kite.
Ulti.tv.
If you can scratch it,